could show you one technique, one simple strategy that will allow you to stay calm in a crisis, accelerate your learning, and even improve your physical health and well-being, would that be useful? Great, because I've got something fantastic for you. Hello, it's Alan Fater here, bringing you more secrets to success and tips for your own personal and professional mastery. So what's this amazing technique? What's this incredible strategy that's going to allow you to achieve so much and to be so great in these situations? You may have already heard of it. It's the technique of mental rehearsal. Now, before I tell you exactly the proper and correct way to do mental rehearsal, I'm going to tell you why it works. Countless studies have shown that when we mentally rehearse something properly in our mind, our brain responds as if it's a real situation. So basically, when we rehearse something mentally in our head, in our mind, as if it's actually happening, our brain responds and starts to build really strong, robust neural networks as if it's actually taking place. And as we know, practice makes perfect. Now, this is a great advantage for mental rehearsal over physical rehearsal as well, or to do it in conjunction with. Because when we physically rehearse something, we might not be very competent with that skill to begin with. So we might be practicing, but not in a really good way. So we might learn and practice ways of doing things that aren't actually right or aren't correct. But when we mentally rehearse something, we can practice them perfectly. We can imagine doing that activity in a perfect way. And so when we do this properly, it actually translates from our brain and into our neurology and then becomes muscle memory. So heaps of studies prove how this is really effective, and sports people all over the world use this. I've used this myself when I used to teach and train martial arts, and also with clients that I've coached and trained, athletes, equestrians, race car drivers, martial artists, and everybody gets the same great results. When you practice perfectly in your mind, you gain perfect responses when you're doing it for real. But here's the other thing, it's not just physical stuff. So we can mentally rehearse staying calm in a crisis. We could mentally rehearse walking into a client's office when we want that new contract, or walking into a boss's office when we're going to ask for a raise. And we could mentally rehearse how we would walk across that room. We could mentally rehearse in our mind how we would walk across the room, smile, make eye contact with the person, shake their hand. We could mentally rehearse listening to their objections, and we could mentally rehearse staying calm as we listen to, and not getting flustered by their objections, and just dealing with them in a really useful way. So mental rehearsal creates those robust neural networks that allow us to perform absolutely fantastically. So here's the distinction between mentally rehearsing something and just thinking something through. Because you see, we have around 60 or 70,000 thoughts a day, which is a lot, and they zoom through our brain at around about 3,000 kilometers a second. And at that speed, with all those thoughts, they don't stick. They don't translate into muscle memory. The dendrites, as they join together in our brain, they don't stay together, and they just peel off and do something else. So the thought happens, but then it just disappears. When we mentally rehearse something, we build really strong, robust neural networks. By repetition, by doing it over again, by imagining fully being there, our brain thinks that this is a real event and it's actually happening. So here's the trick with mental rehearsal. You need to step into the event that you want to rehearse, whether it's a sporting event, a physical event, or whether it's just dealing with that person or dealing with a certain situation. Step into that event as if you're actually there. So from the comfort of your own couch at home, you can imagine walking into that important client's office. Imagine the feel of your feet as you walk across the floor. Imagine your posture as you walk up to them, smile, say hi and shake their hand. You can imagine practicing from the comfort of your own couch, the most perfect golf swing. And as you actually do that, as you actually imagine being there in that event, imagine it as if it's happening in real time. So stick with the pauses. Don't let those thoughts zoom through really fast, because the more you do it in real time, the more your brain is going to start to think that, hey, this is a real event. And then what will happen is when the actual event comes up, when the real-time event comes up, what's going to happen is your brain's going to go, hey, I've done this before, I've done this 1,000 times before, and it's going to respond, and you're going to respond and speak and act in a much more calm, relaxed and focused way. So if you've enjoyed this video, great, use the techniques, use this technique of mental rehearsal, because it's going to empower you. Use it to empower you, use it to empower other people, and hey, let's make the world a better place. If you have enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends. And remember, if you're not already on my e-list, put your details up here and submit your email address and download the free ebook, and I'll come and visit you every single week with a new tip and a technique. Thanks very much, guys. Remember, leave a comment below if you've got any questions, or just email me. Thanks a lot, and I'll talk to you again soon.